Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. If some of you have been following my Facebook page, you know I had a big score recently, so let me go into the details. About a week ago, I answered an ad on Craigslist. A woman said she had 100 albums, she wanted $2 each, basically rock and jazz in good condition. So I said, all right, you know, I'm always skeptical, but I said, all right, let me check it out. It was about an hour drive from here, but, you know, it was a beautiful summer day, and I'm retired. I had the day off like every day, so that was fine. Nice little drive in the country. And I get to her place, and it's down this dirt road, and it's a real farm. She has 2 horses and goats and all that stuff, and she's really nice. She comes out, we start talking about things, and she says to me, you know, I think I might have had a little more than 100 albums. I said, all right, well, let me see what you got. So I go inside, the real old farmhouse. She goes, all the records are in the hallway upstairs. So I go up this really steep staircase, and at the top of the staircase, there are 5 cartons. Each of them had to have at least 100 albums per carton. I start going through them, and I'm seeing David Bowie, the Pogues, Van Morrison, Prince, Talking Heads, on and on and on and on, all in great, great condition. So after I stop salivating, I go down to her and I say, you know, I really would like to have everything, but because you said you only had 100 albums and you wanted $2 each, I only brought $200 with me. With $200, take it all. And she was like, well, and she said, you know what? Take them, get them out of here. So I ended up getting about 550 albums for $200. I have a little booth at an antique mall near here, and I like to buy stuff cheap and sell cheap, and I keep the cream for myself. So I usually will buy records for $1 or $2 and sell them for $3, $4, and $5, and I try to keep the good stuff for myself. So I got a stack here of the stuff I'm keeping, and it's going to be a long video, so hope you have time. Pour yourself a drink, sit down and relax, because here we go. I'm going to start off with the jazz that I found. First one I found was Miles Davis Kind of Blue, which I have. I didn't even check this out yet. This is obviously a repress. Yeah, it's a 70s repress. That's okay. Always can't ever have too many copies of Kind of Blue. That was good. Next. Then she had like 4 records by this, or 3 or 4 records by this artist, and I was like, are you kidding me? John Coltrane. This is Prestige 7105. Yeah, with Mal Waldron, Paul Chambers, Sahib Shabab, Red Garland, Paul, yeah. Good stuff. And this is on the Prestige label. Love that label. Then the next one was another Coltrane album. Yeah, a couple of Coltrane albums. The next one is the John Coltrane Quartet with McCoy Tyner, Jim Garrison, and Elvin Jones. Most of these are represses, but that's okay. They're all really clean, and I basically paid 38 cents per record, so can't complain about that. Next one is a record for some reason I don't have in my collection, and I kept waiting to see if I could find a nice repress, because I can't afford an original. And here's a nice repress for me. John Coltrane, Love Supreme. This is a repress on 180, digitally remastered, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, still in the shrink. Looking forward to digging into that. One of the great albums of all time, John Coltrane, Love Supreme. All right, then we have a couple by another great jazz artist. One of my other favorites is Charlie Mingus. And this is, again, a repress. Can't even try to pronounce it. But, you know, everyone knows this album if you're a Mingus fan. Recorded in 1956 in New York City. So, that one. And another Mingus. Mingus Revisited, 1965. This on Trip Records. Special Collector Series. Oh boy. Trip Records. So
One more. Oh yeah, this one is one of my. This is by my other favorite jazz musician, Thelonious Monk, and this is Straight No Chaser. Fantastic album. I used to have this way back in the day, but now I got a new copy, a repress, but still. Charlie Mingus. I mean Thelonious Monk, and now Thelonious Monk apostrophe. Again, this is not the original pressing, but still really nice. This is actually a English pressing from England. And the next one I saw this. I said, "Oh, I got this. I've seen this 1,000 times. No big deal." Getz and Gilberto, great album. I start looking a little bit closer. I said, "Oh, this doesn't look like it's a U.S. pressing." As I look even closer, I don't know if you can see it, but it is a Japanese pressing. So that's pretty cool. So it doesn't have the Obi strip, but it's a Japanese press from the 80s, I think. So I'm real excited about that, get that cleaned up. And if this sounds much better than mine, I'll just upgrade and get rid of mine. But the classic Getz and Gilberto. Next one is, Dizzy Gillespie. This is Dizzy Gillespie, The Newport Years, Volume 5 on Verve. So I haven't heard this. I haven't heard any of these yet. I haven't cleaned any of these yet, but looking forward to digging in a lot of this jazz. Dizzy Gillespie. And then actually about 2 months ago, I had none of this artist's albums, and now I have, in the past 2 months, I've got 5 of her records. Nina Simone. This is Silk and Soul, which is a repress on Camden. But the next one is the one which is her first album. Again, it's a later repress, but it's still Little Girl Blue, Nina Simone. So that's really great. I'm really excited about getting these cleaned up and digging into them. So that's basically the jazz. Now I have about 4 or 5 albums from this next artist, who we all know. Again, this one I just didn't have in my collection, so I'm really glad to add it. And it's Lou Reed. This is Walk on the Wild Side, which is a best of collection. Nice compilation. And the next one I've wanted for a while, Velvet Underground Loaded. And Lou Reed Street Hassle. I think this is from the 80s probably. 78. 78 Lou Reed Street Hassle. Another Lou Reed, Growing Up in Public. 1980. So my Lou Reed collections are built up pretty quickly. Now this one is a one from Italy. And it's Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground. Basically it's Velvet Underground stuff, which is great. Has Sister Ray, Venus in Furs, European Sun, Pale Blue Eyes, Black Angel's Death Song, and Beginning to See the Light. So, and it has a nice, is the record on Superstar Records. But inside, they have a nice booklet with pictures. Unfortunately, everything is in Italian because it's from Italy. But I can look at the pictures anyway. So that was pretty nice. And one more Lou Reed. This is Legendary Hearts. So these are all for my Lou Reed collection. I'm looking forward to. It's really nice to be able to build that up pretty quick. Lou Reed. Next group of albums are from a band, one of my favorites also. Obviously, this is why I'm keeping this stuff, because it's all my favorite stuff. Didn't have any of these. These are all new for me. Talking Heads 77. This one is Talking Heads. What's the name of this album? Oh, more songs about buildings and food. More Talking Heads. Naked. And just remember, these were all about 39 cents each. Talking Heads. This is one from Portugal, as you can see.
Remain in Light. Then they had a lot by this artist. I have a lot, so I'm selling a bunch of them, but these are the two I didn't have. So I'm able to add these to my collection. Is Elvis Costello, Get Happy, which I'm real happy to add to my collection, and My Aim is True. I couldn't believe I didn't have this. Maybe this will be the screenshot. Can't believe I didn't have this in my collection, but so glad I have it now. Then, this one I hadn't seen, and I talked to Brian from Shamrockin' Records, and he knew all about it. 4-song EP by the Pogues, Poetry in Motion. Love the Pogues. So it's a nice 4-song EP. London Girl, The Body of an American, A Rainy Night in Soho, and Plancery Noel Hill. So, there you go. Next, the 2 albums by a band, sort of fun. Devo. Are We Not Men? No, we are Devo. And also from Devo, Freedom of Choice. All right, moving right along here. Van the Man, Astral Weeks. I did not have a copy of this, so I'm glad I got it. It's a not a green label. It's the palm tree label, but still one of the great albums. Van Morrison. This next record I bought actually about 3 weeks ago. I've been looking for it for years, and of course I spent 10, 15 bucks on it 3 weeks ago. And then, of course, yesterday or 2 days ago, I picked it up for 37, 38 cents. The Kinks, Muswell Hillbillies. So I got to figure out which one is the better one, which one's in better quality, and then I'll put the other one in my booth at my antique mall. But yeah, the Kinks, Muswell Hillbillies. Looking forward to that. Great stuff. And then a couple by Squeeze, who I enjoy. I love that power pop stuff. So this is Cosi fan tutti. Cosi fan tutti frutti. Cosi fan tutti frutti. So I have a bunch of that stuff, but I've heard this is very good. Have not heard it, but heard good things about it. And then this one I used to have in CD for years, and I loved it all. Really great. Squeeze singles. All their 45s. Just great stuff. I love it. And then they had a whole bunch of ska. A lot of British ska, which I love. And the first one is a compilation, The Best of British Ska Live. And this features the Specials, The English Beat, Bad Manners, Madness, The Body Snatchers. And there's all live stuff, which is really cool. If you like that ska, this is very cool. And the label, I think, is a sweet label. Yeah, I like that. We got time. Got nothing but time, baby. There you go. There's your label. All right, ska. While we're in the ska mode, Madness. How about the Selector? Celebrate the Bullet. The Specials. The English Beat. I Just Can't Stop It. The Selector. Too Much Pressure. Pressure Got to Stop. All right, I'm almost done. All right, the last couple of records are some blues albums. Didn't have a lot of blues. These are basically 3 blues that he had, and I grabbed them all. John Mayall, Turning Point. Looking forward to hearing that again. I used to hear this way back in the day. I used to have it, but haven't heard it in years, so looking forward to cleaning that up, getting into it. This next one, I think is an upgrade for me. I have this already. I'm one of my favorite artists again. Taj Mahal. This is Natural Blues. Looking for the date. Nope, not going to get it. Great album, though. Natural Blues, Taj Mahal. And last but not least, on Alligator Records,
Sun Seals. And this is Midnight Sun. So these are just the ones that I'm keeping out of about 550. There were about 28 classical albums and about 5 box sets of classical music, which I'm trying to sell separately. Most of the records I got, I'm putting out at $3, $4, and $5, but there's a nice chunk, about 100 and some odd records, that are worth well into the $10, $20, $30 range, which I'm keeping separate, and maybe try to sell those separately, but we'll see what happens with that. Okay, hope we all enjoyed the video. I really appreciate everybody who takes the time out of their day to spend a couple of minutes watching my little videos here. This was a great score. Just remember that scores like this are still out there for everybody, so keep digging. And until next time, peace.